Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to talk about something that is a topic that comes up in bear camps, and bear hunters talk about it everywhere. I've heard outfitters say it, and that is the statement that male bears will kill cubs in order to bring the sow back into heat so they can breed her. Well, I believe that is a total myth, and I'm going to tell you in a minute. But first of all, I have to set this up by helping you understand a little bit about what bears kill and eat, and also the process of the sows and the cubs and how they come into heat. So let's start out by taking a look at the bear's diet. Now, these are 3 skulls from some of the bigger bears that I've shot. These 2 here are just under 20 inches, and let's see if you can figure out which one of these was professionally cleaned and which 2 of them I did myself. You can probably see. But anyway, this is an actual 21-inch Boone and Crockett skull of a black bear. And if you look at the jaws on this, you know, they're pretty formidable. And this bear, he can eat and kill anything he can catch. Well, that's the catch, so to speak, because here's the deal. Bears are not efficient predators. They're strong and everything like that, but they're just not good at catching big game animals. They almost never kill deer unless there's something wrong with it. Caribou, moose, other species, you know, they just are not able to catch them and kill them, so they mostly eat carrion. I've seen many instances where roadkill deer were drug off the road by a bear and back into the bushes where they can feed on it. So bears are not efficient predators, but they love to eat meat. There's a few things that they do eat. They'll catch ground squirrels and things like that. In the spring, they'll get a few fawns. They don't there's no evidence that they develop techniques for finding fawns and like moose calves and caribou calves and so forth in the spring. There's very little evidence to show that they really seek them out, but they do, in an opportunistic basis, kill a few fawns and so forth. Unlike coyotes and wolves, which actually develop techniques to really, they can really damage the population of fawns and calves. Okay, there is one other thing that the bear pretty consistently learns to catch, and that's beavers. And beavers are pretty clumsy when they come out of the water, and bears love beaver meat. They love all kinds of meat, and they learn to ambush beavers as beavers leave the water in order to cut trees and gather food and stuff like that. So that's one of the few things that bears actually do have a great deal of success in catching. And honestly, I don't know how common it is, but I think it's fairly common. So with bears not being very efficient predators, but they still have the love of meat, then they're opportunistic, which means that, you probably know this, bear cubs are made out of meat. Okay, so if a boar has an opportunity to kill a cub, he's going to kill it to eat it. And now let's talk a little bit about the size of the cubs and about the sows and how the whole system works, I guess you could say. Now, the cubs are born in February in the den with the sow. And when they come out, there are these little fur balls in the spring. I mean, they weigh less than 10 pounds, probably 5 pounds, and they're very vulnerable at that time. And then the breeding season starts in the end of May across most of North America and through June. And at that time, the sows do not come into heat. Okay, so the sow stays with those cubs through the fall and dens with those 2 cubs in the winter. By the time they go into the den, they're 40, 50 pounds or so. And then they come out in the spring, and then the sow starts to come into heat. And by the time May or June rolls around again, okay, she's got these cubs that are 50, 60, 70 pounds with her. And when she's coming into heat, she will either drive them off, but more commonly, a male bear that comes around her will drive them off, catch them if he can, but usually by that time they can get to a tree and get away from them pretty easy. And then the males and the females will be together for a week or more, and where they'll just be together, and you see them together all the time for several days, even a week to 10 days at times. The males will breed several sows. They'll go from sow to sow, and the bear rut is stretched out from, most of North America. It's basically the end of May into July in many areas. Okay, so then after the breeding season takes place, then the majority of the cubs will find their mother and hook back up. I see a lot of sows with cubs, with yearling cubs, in the fall again, but then she won't den with them because now she's pregnant. And so then the process starts all over again. So if you think about a boar killing cubs in order to make that sow go back into heat, it just really doesn't make any sense, because first of all, how would a boar know that that's going to happen? How, he can't reason. How would he be able to think that, okay, if I eat the cubs, they won't be nursing anymore, and this sow might come back into heat? Well, it just would take way too long for the sow to come back into heat, and he can't rationalize that. Animals react to their surroundings. They have instinct, but not the ability to rationalize, and they can learn, but not reason. So it really doesn't make any sense that a boar would kill a cub to try to get that sow to come back into heat. The boar will kill cubs because they're there. He's an opportunist, and in every case that I know of, you may know of some that differ, in every case that I know of, when a boar caught a cub, he ate it, or ate the majority of it. So that's why I believe that's a myth, and your mileage may vary. You feel perfectly free to leave a comment in the comment section below if you have anything that you would add to this, or if you disagree with it, just be civil. But anyway, that's one of the topics that I just want to talk to you about. There's some other myths and things that I'm going to be talking about on this YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber, I have no idea why not. If you like to bear hunt, this is the best bear hunting information channel on YouTube, so you ought to be a subscriber. So we will talk to you on the next one.